So welcome everybody to our Tuesday night before Thanksgiving call. I'm excited for this call because we really have Alexis and Jenna on who, presented at conference, and they are, as far as we know, the top production team in the country. That's pretty exciting. They're representing the heat with like total glory. We are so proud of both of you. It's just amazing. And so with that said, I want to start with Alexis, who's a national marketing director who is just a couple things. She made it to NMD in 18 months. She's got, in fact, she wanted to be national marketing director before her third baby was born. And I think she made NMD the night before baby number 3 came. Like, we're talking, that's the kind of organization that Alexis does. She can plan to make NMD the night before she delivers her baby. Like, I don't even need to say anything more about her organization. And she's just generous with the information and all of the tools that she creates for and with her team. So Alexis, I'm going to just completely turn this over to you. And I know that you're going to tell us about some of the new incentives that we've got, and our just remind us about the $30 off and all the different ways that maybe we can use that with our partners. And if I want to join in and say something, is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm turning it over to you. I don't think I'll need to join in at all.
Okay. My name's Alexis Busselman. I'm super excited to be here with you guys tonight. Honored to be part of the HEAT team. We have some amazing national marketing directors on this team. And I will go ahead and start off by sharing some of the exciting specials that we have going on with our company right now. So first of all, today just launched Black Friday is when you order quad capsules, fruits, vegetables, berries, and omegas, all 4 capsules, they're going to do a 10% discount on those. So it is for the first shipment. So it brings it from $112 down to $101. So some excellent savings there. We also have some other specials that are ongoing. So we have the partner special, which started in September. It is $30 off application fees. So it's only $22 to become a partner for the year. And when you submit your first order, you will receive 30 samples, which is a $90 value.
Whoa.
For this month, we also have, if you do trio capsules or quad capsules, you are able to receive a free bag of our Perform, which is our 25-gram protein, and that's a $60 value to be able to receive that. And I feel like I'm missing one. There's one more. Oh,
double profit.
Partners, Partner Plus, and QSCs receive double sales profit on all capsule orders. So that is amazing. You can have somebody who comes in today as a brand new partner who orders the quad, and they can stack all of those. So they can sign up for $22 and get $90 worth of samples. They can get the free bag of Perform, the 10% off, and they can get paid double sales profit for their capsule order. The only thing you cannot stack is you cannot stack the 10% discount for Black Friday with a health study order. Right. So just know that. And someone commented about Canada. Canada's specials are just a little bit different. So if you're listening in from Canada, just double check with those who are in charge in Canada. I don't know all the Canadian specials.
And I just want to say, if you stack those up, I didn't add it, but $90 in free samples, $42 off on your product, $60 for Perform, $30 off on your becoming a partner, and double. I didn't even put what the double income is. It's a lot of money.
I have it. Actually, it would be $234 if you got the quad plus paid for the partnership. And when you do that, you get $150 in free product.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazing. Plus and get paid. You get $234. Oh, I said that incorrectly.
Including, yeah. But part of that, there's $150 worth of free product. And the other one is your income and everything else. $234 just for ordering the quad and signing up as a distributor. It's awesome.
Yes. Now is the time to be having those conversations. So I will just encourage you guys. I did some verbiage with some of my girls today, how do you reach back out to people that you've been talking to and mention these things? Wish them a happy Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving break. Everybody's doing things right now. So be acknowledgeable about that everyone's probably traveling and doing family stuff, but also let them know that you're thinking about them and you don't want them to miss out on these opportunities. So just make sure that if it's not this week, that you guys are getting that done at some point where you're reaching back out to those people, because the Black Friday special ends on the 27th, but the other ones, a couple of them do end this month. The Perform definitely ends this month. So encourage you guys there. Okay, we will go ahead and we will get started. So tonight's call is about creating momentum in your team. And so I am excited and honored to have the opportunity to share with Jenna Juke tonight. Jenna is here in South Texas. So we're both Texas girls. And she has only been in this business since March. So she started the Juice Plus products about 9 months before that as a customer, and I had asked her several times to become a partner, and the timing wasn't right. She works a full-time job as a speech language pathologist, and she has a little boy that's about to turn 2 years old. So she has her hands full and she is busy. But she joined the business and made it to senior sales coordinator by this fall conference. So in less than 9 months, made it to senior sales coordinator. And I was so excited to have a chance for her to share a little bit of her story this evening. And we're gonna do a little bit of a Q&A. So I'm gonna ask her some questions so you guys can get to know her a little bit more and learn how she's been building her business. So first of all, I would love for her just to share a little bit about her story and how she's gotten to the point where she's at.
Thank you for that introduction, Alexis. Before I start, I just want to say, if you haven't made the complete hot chocolate, it's really yummy. It's so good. So like Alexis said, she asked me multiple times to join her, and the timing really wasn't right. I was in the thick of postpartum anxiety and depression, and it was just really tough to add anything else to my plate. I definitely was not prioritizing healthy living like I know I should have been. And that's when I reached out to Alexis and was like, I need to get right for my family and for myself. And so she got me set up, and I took it every month. And she was like, are you sure you don't want a partner? And it took my son getting hospitalized with pneumonia when I finally was all in, got my family on it, and became a partner. And after a month of him being on it, I quickly realized how good it was for us and what it was doing. We had our first month without any illness, and he had spent 8 consecutive months sick, battling virus after virus. So March was our first month without any doctor visits, without any missed work days or daycare days. And that was our first full month with him being on Juice Plus. And so that's when I realized that I didn't want to be selfish and keep this for myself. And I wanted to start sharing with those closest to me, with my friends and my family. I didn't want to be salesy. I didn't want to push anything on anyone. I was and still am a full-time speech therapist. So I already have a full-time job. And I was a little bit intimidated by it all. But little by little, I started sharing on social media, and people would would pique interest, and they would stop me at a t-ball game, and they would ask me what are you doing for your son? He's not sick anymore, and you're not posting about him being sick. And so that's kind of how I started. And then a couple of my best friends joined me, and they've built their team. And so that's just a little bit of how my journey started.
Hey, and I heard you mention social media.
Yes.
So when you started sharing the products, you kind of started there on social media. So tell us what your content looks like, and how were you able to take those conversations on social media where people were commenting on your posts or in your stories, and how were you able to turn those into customers? What did those conversations look like?
So my social media content, I try to stay authentic. Before Juice Plus, I was always posting about William being sick. For being a first-time mom, I'm just desperate for help and asking for help. I was also kind of open about my postpartum struggles. And so I feel like building that trust and relationship with people is very important, that I'm not just showing up to sell something, that I'm showing up and sharing something that actually is working for my family and I. And so I think that has helped a lot, to get, people interested and to comment and to message me on the side. That first step is to build trust. And so I would post about William drinking a shake, or a video of us making a shake together. And someone would comment either on the video or on a Facebook post. And then I take that conversation offline into a private message. And that's whenever I ask follow-up questions to get to know them better and spend some time with them off of the social media post, and just ask questions like about their health concerns. I also have autoimmune disease. So I always share that because I feel like lots of women have Hashimoto's. Lots of women are chronically fatigued. They have thyroid issues that are unresolved. And I feel like 9 out of 10 times when I come across a woman that messages me, they're like, I have Hashimoto's too, and I can't keep the weight off, or I'm always tired, or my joints always hurt. And so that really resonates with them. So that's kind of my approach. Did I answer that okay?
That was good. That was perfect. I would also say Jenna and I shared from the main stage at conference a little bit about our businesses as well. And one of the things Jenna shared was how to build a cart. And so you didn't mention that, but if you have not ever built a cart, I would encourage you guys to build a cart for somebody, make it easy for them, do the heavy lifting. You only need to put in their name, their email, their phone number, and pick their product. You don't have to put their address in. And people really, I have found, like doing that. That makes it really easy. One of the things Jenna had shared from the main stage is, they're just not navigating through that website trying to figure out where to start. You're making that recommendation for them. And so I'm going to encourage you guys to do that. Okay, Jenna, so you are in a leadership position, and being in that position means that you have created a team. Mm-hmm. So you and your teammates do an amazing job of inviting into this business. And you guys are doing an amazing job of developing those relationships so people get to their promotions. What would you say? What would you just say about that? Or like, how are you guys doing that? What does that look like? Because they are adding a lot of teammates, you guys, and these teammates, a lot of them are promoting out on a regular basis. So I would say, I don't know, five to six QSCs or above are already in her organization. So that means they're PB qualified or PB eligible. So that's huge. So what would you say to that?
We really prioritize healthy living events in the community. So a lot of the times we host events that are open to all of my partners, because we're all kind of from the same community, but we know different people. We have different relatives. And so when we host a community event, anyone that you invite is yours. We have cards that Alexis helped create. And at the bottom of that card, it says who invited you. So when we have like 30 people show up, or even 15 people show up, it's kind of hard to track down like who invited who, and if they're interested, who do they go under. And so the cards that Alexis designed with who invited you, we have them fill out these cards. Sometimes we have them turn in the cards at the end of our event to enter for a drawing. If you fill out your card, which has all the basic information you need to build a cart for them, and then at the end it says who invited you, they turn that in, we put it in a drawing for a gift card. We spend like $10 to $15 on a gift card, usually at the place where we have it. So last time we had it at a coffee shop. So we invested money into the coffee shop and bought a gift card and did a drawing. So then we have that card, and that's how we keep track of all of these people who are coming to these big community events. We also have private events because we have several different legs under myself. And so say, for instance, one partner just wants to host an event just for her like coworkers or her relatives. And so we host private events. I want to say we do a really good job at keeping the calendar flowing with events. And we actually sat down with one of my partners, and she invited all of her partners to her home and made them dinner. And then we sat down, we all brought our planners, and we put events on the calendar up until February. So we game planned, and we made sure that, someone was available on this day, and if you're not available, let's get you down on this day. And so that's how we're reaching all of the different partners. and making sure that we're spending time with them and helping them build their team.
And those cards that Jenna referenced, as members of the Heat team, Nikki put together an amazing boards section for us on like interactive events that our team has been hosting. And those are the cards that we use for all of our events, whether they are an interactive event where they're getting stamps on that one side, or even just an event like Jenna mentioned. I also use them like at our sourdough workshops, because the back of those cards does just have the basic information. And so that is a great, easy way to collect that information from them. So if you guys are on the Heat team boards page, you can find that under the interactive events section. And Nikki asked a great question about, you know, if we're advertising these events and people come that maybe they saw it on Facebook. Jenna's also gone to like the daycares and given flyers there. You know, some of the other girls on our team have handed out flyers at other places. So we really try hard to bring people in that maybe don't even know anything about our community. If that happened and they don't have somebody that referenced them, who's ever kind of hosting the event, whether that's myself or that's Jenna, we will make sure at the end, as we distribute cards out to the partners who did have people who came, we'll just kind of make a decision as far as like who that person was associated with. Like maybe they go to the same daycare as one of the other partners. And so we're just going to go ahead and assume that, you know, that would be a good partner that could take care of that person. And so it's really up to whoever is the leader to kind of figure out if there's usually not very many of those, but occasionally we do have them. And I would encourage you guys, I feel like that was something that we were not doing enough of as a team. You know, you post in your Facebook groups and you share it amongst your friends and your family and your existing customers. But getting out, like we host some amazing events, you guys. They bring so much value to the community. And I think sometimes we underestimate that, but we've had a great response from the daycares or the schools or some of even the churches. We've posted some of our flyers at the churches that our teammates are members at. So I encourage you guys to do that as well. Okay, next question. Oh, go ahead.
I had a partner today, or actually yesterday, she picked up flyers today. She noticed on her son's flyer from daycare that next week is nutrition week. So she took the opportunity to go to the director, and she took a flyer that I helped design. And the director was like, I've never heard of this, and kids can get it for free. And she was like, yes, like, can we print 50 more? And she wants to send them home to all the parents. So we're going to do that next week for nutrition week at her son's daycare. So that's a great idea for other teammates to do.
Yes, absolutely. And Jenna has like some flyers, like some of her girls are teachers. So we've worked to design like some flyers that can go into the teachers' lounges and just things that help create awareness about our community, of the things that we offer and our products, and how that they could help fill a need if there's someone who's looking, because you never know who could possibly need what we have to offer.
Right.
Okay, Jenna, so the next question I have for you is, how do you handle follow-ups without feeling salesy?
I'm still learning, because a part of me still kind of feels salesy sometimes, but I try to stay real and authentic because I take it every day. So if it was something that I personally wasn't taking and didn't feel a difference in myself or in my son or my husband, I think I'd feel a bit more salesy, but I know that it's working. And so I know there's truth behind it. So whenever I'm following up with a customer or a prospect, I'm trying to stay true and real with them. And I don't know, I'm just trying to stay authentic. I keep the conversation flowing and not so robotic. I don't know how to explain that any better other than asking how they're doing or how their week goes. And I think that was it Rhonda at conference? It was someone's learning lab. I think it was Rhonda that said it was so important to mention like their family. Like, you know, she followed up with someone that couldn't come to her event, and it wasn't like, okay, fine, like whatever, like I don't care, I'll go on to the next person. It was like, oh, that's right, I forgot Rachel had her graduation, like that's so exciting, I've been rooting for her, I'm praying for her, you know, just build those conversations. I think like little tips like that really helps. And so when I do follow up with someone, I give them a day or two because I get busy. there are days whenever I get busy and I can't follow up with somebody. And so I know how it is to work and have a family and cook and do all the things. So I wait a couple of days and I reach out and I just say, hey, I'm submitting some orders for some friends. Do you have any questions for me? And that's something that Alexis has taught me, is to end with a question, something like, what questions do you have for me? And leave it with a question. So it kind of leads into a follow-up for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. I do preach that, guys. I always tell my girls, it's really easy out for somebody when you end it like, let me know if you're interested. It's really easy for them just to ignore that message. Whereas if you ask them a question, it makes it easier to keep that conversation going. Okay. Looking at the success that you've had in your business so far this year, Jenna, would you say that you have any like specific tip that you would pass on? So I'm thinking maybe there's people listening to this call who are brand new partners and they're like, wow, I would love to be senior sales coordinator in the next, 6 to 9 months. I would love to have a team like you're sharing about. Or maybe there's somebody on this call that is listening and they need to like restart their business. They're like, I've been a partner for a long time. I would love to be in that position, in a leadership position, but I'm feeling like I'm struggling. So what would you just say if you had a tip that you would share? What would that be?
Kind of hard to narrow it down to one tip, but I guess the starting point would be like, what is your why? Like, why are you doing this? And why do you want to move forward? Every January, my best friend, who's actually one of my partners, Melissa, we pick a word of the year. And my word this January was intentional. Be intentional with my time, with my health, with my family, with my job, all the things. And then Alexis finally caught me in the next couple months. And I decided to be more intentional with this business and with Juice Plus. And so be more intentional with your time and your wants and your needs. And I am listening to an audiobook. It's called Find Your People by Jenny Allen. And it's really amazing. She talks about what it takes to build a community with intentionality, true relationships. And I think that that really matters.
Hey, that's awesome. That's some really good tips there. I guess the other thing that I would like to share, because I've been a partner for 5.5 years now. And as Nikki said, like I achieved some success very quickly in my business. I made national marketing director in 18 months. But then I had some really hard times between then and where I'm at now. There was some downtime and some time when my business was a lot slower. And it can be really easy to lose that momentum and feel like I don't have anybody who wants to do events. I don't have anybody who's working. I'm struggling with that. And so I want to tell you guys, the one tip that I always tell my teammates is get new partners. There's nothing that getting a new partner can't fix. No matter where you're at in your business, adding new partners to your team breathes so much life into your business because it gives you opportunity to have those new experiences with them, to be able to have events with them, to your business and into your life if you let them and if you're doing things with them that may not have been there before. And so adding new partners can really breathe life into your business.
Alexis is the only one in the world that can be beautiful when she's frozen.
Right.
Like, how is that even possible? My face is always crooked and one eye is closed. She looks beautiful. That's ridiculous. But she doesn't know that she's frozen. Do you want to add anything, Jenna, while we unfreeze her, hopefully?
One thing I didn't mention about what my partners and I have recently started doing is that we created a Facebook group. We live, like I mentioned, we live in small towns. So all of our counties are like right next to each other. And so we made a community Facebook group that's open to the public and we named it Carnes and Wilson County Healthy Living Events. And so we're posting in there and keeping up with our events that are public and not the private events, so that anyone and everyone can feel like they are welcome and they are invited. Another group that we have also started just to build on relationships is a sourdough group, because we're all doing the sourdough workshop. So we named it Sourdough Sisters. So we have that group going and we're building that relationship. Not everyone who has attended our sourdough workshop has purchased Juice Plus, but my hope is that with building this relationship and that they see that I take healthy living very seriously, and I'm offering them tips on how to, you know, keep their sourdough going, that maybe one day they'll trust us enough to buy Juice Plus. So those are just some other groups that we're doing on Facebook.
Jenna, that really makes sense. And I'm going to just say, does anybody have a question for Jenna that they just feel like there's something that if they could tweak, if there's something they could do differently, maybe Jenna could help you out? Is there anybody that I'm going to just look and just, if you will, unmute yourself and just say, I'm here and I have a question. Now is an opportunity.
I have a question, Jenna. You mentioned the book, Find Your People, but I didn't get who it was by. I just wanted to hear more.
The author is Jenny Allen.
Then that just sounds like a great title. That's what this is all about, is it doesn't matter. This company has so many different personalities of people that have been successful. So whoever you are, as long as you're being you, you're going to attract your people. But sometimes we find it difficult just to be ourselves. We compare each other so much that we're looking to be somebody else. My biggest suggestion is to, you know, be you. You can't be Jenna. You can't be Alexis, but you can be you. So, and I see Alexis came back. And
sorry, guys.
yay, that's okay. Jenna just filled right in. She's such a leader and a professional, Alexis. We just went on without you. But what you did miss is we all said, like, we cannot believe how beautiful you look, even when you're frozen. Like, that's just ridiculous. People's eyes are usually, you know, half shut and your mouth is crooked. And like, I don't even know how you can be frozen and still look beautiful. So if there's anything else that you want to wrap up with, Alexis, or a final question.
I was just going to tell you that if any of you are in maybe that season of waiting, where maybe you feel like your business is not at the peak of either where it was or where you want to be, I would just encourage you to embrace the season that you're in and figure out how can you fine tune the things that you are doing in your business to make it run like a well-oiled machine when things do really ramp up. So maybe that's getting better at customer care. Maybe that's getting better at loving on your partners, but just think about that. If this is maybe a different season for you, than maybe where Jenna's at right now. Because I know what it feels like to be in that season. So that was the only thing I wanted to add.
And that's really beautiful, Alexis, is that if you are in a season where people just aren't coming to you for whatever reason, use this time to get really good at some other pieces so that when if you're putting things in place as if all of a sudden you got 5 new partners, would you be ready for that? And the intention of doing the work as if could shift the energy for you and attract the people that you're looking for. So be as if. All right. Well, it's 6:29. We went through it. I asked if anybody have any questions. We didn't get any. So I think we are probably good to go. Any last comments, Jenna or Alexis?
I don't think so.
We're good. Well, then what was that?
But I can't wait for Phoenix.
So I am just going to, I love that. You ended on, I can't wait for Phoenix. Yes, you're already taking a look at where you're going to be in the next important rock to have in your bucket for what you're going to do. Just really from all of the Heat NMDs, we all want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. We hope that you're doing something that gives you great delight and joy, and that you are touched in some way with your heart, and that you're touching others in some way as well. So with that, I'll just say goodnight to everybody.
Thanks, Alexis and Jenna.
Thank you. Awesome.
Beautiful call.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Night.
Good night. Thanks, Alexis. Thanks, Jenna.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
Good call.